1, 2, 3, 4. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on. Mike and John got it going on.
All right. It's getting a little closer to the weekend, isn't it?
Everybody's working for... Oh.
Except us.
No.
We're just hanging out in the basement. It's Mike Marino, John King. Mike and John got it going on. Your local podcast. And what better way to start than with an update on our trivia question? You were thinking news, weren't you?
I was ready to do the news,
Yeah.
but...
We do not
I'll
have a
hold
winner
off.
again. I once again have
Okay.
stumped the people, John. I have stumped the people. 28% of Americans admit they do this,
Yeah.
even though they know it's wrong. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to do this anyway.
All right, now you haven't told me the answer. Write it down here. Write it down here so I can see
I
it.
wrote it
Oh,
right
okay.
there. See, you printed this up on the Giggle
Oh,
printer,
okay.
courtesy of Dan's
All right.
PC Solutions, giving us the...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not think I've ever done this purposely. I may have done it and said, oops, shouldn't have done that.
I go out of my way not to do it.
Yeah,
It's
'cause you know it's wrong.
You're tempted at times. You'll go,
Nobody will notice.
no, you look.
Yeah, you go,
No, not gonna do it.
No, I'm
Not
better than that.
Gonna do it.
But 28% of people aren't.
Yeah. They're the
It does have
jerks.
to do with your vehicle
Yeah.
and you behind the wheel. We'll see if we can get an answer.
Okay.
If not, we'll answer it by the end of the show.
All right.
But first, let's get to Giggle News, brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers in downtown Brighton.
All right, here's what's going on. The suspects arrested in the shooting deaths of two Highland Township teens have now been charged. 18-year-olds Jesse Wright and Stephen Morrow remain held without bond after being charged with 2 counts of homicide, 2 counts of armed robbery, and 4 counts of possession of a firearm in the commission of a crime. The charges were filed in connection with the deaths of 19-year-old Cameron Duckworth and 16-year-old Drake Mancuso. Their bodies were found by White Lake Township Police Saturday morning after officers were called to the Cedarbrook Estates mobile home park on a report of an unresponsive person near a pond. They'd reportedly each been shot several times. It's believed the suspects and the victims were acquaintances. A longtime local teacher who traveled the world with celebrities has passed away. Charles Carlton Bates, better known as Charlie, passed away May 23rd. He was 89. Bates was an All-American athlete in high school and at U of M. That led to a career doing diving stunts as he traveled the world with celebrities, including the Three Stooges. After his life's first act, he became a teacher and retired as a science teacher from Heartland Farms Middle School in 1994. After retirement, Bates became an active member of the Howell American Legion, and he continued coaching until just earlier this year. A celebration of life will be held Sunday, July 17th at the American Legion Devereaux Post in Howell. Arrangements are being handled by the Watkin Brothers Funeral Homes, McDonald's Chapel. And emergency repairs are being performed on the Hill Road overpass over US 23 following a crash Wednesday that closed down the northbound lanes. The Michigan Department of Transportation reports the closure was necessitated by the impact of a high load on the overpass that happened about 12:30 Wednesday afternoon. A tweet from MDOT's Bay region said northbound US 23 would remain closed and detoured through the Hill Road interchange while crews performed emergency repairs. The work will also close one lane of eastbound Hill Road. Those repairs are expected to be completed sometime Thursday morning. And that's what's going on.
And news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, Brighton's preeminent jewelry store with a commitment to customer service, community involvement, honesty, professionalism, and exquisite merchandise. Be sure to stop by and see Mark and Barb Binkley. They pride themselves on offering something special for everybody and recognize customer satisfaction is the sole purpose of their business, offering a unique mix of exceptional quality jewelry, value, all in a warm and engaging environment. If you're looking for something special, maybe an anniversary or graduation, they've got custom designs. They'll design something specifically for that special someone in your life. They've got the latest from Simon G. and Zagani.
Zagani!
Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, Main Street in downtown Brighton. See them today or see them online first. Do a little pre-shop, cooperandbinkleyjewelers.com.
All right.
All right.
I think it's time.
You want me to reveal the answer already?
No. It's time to call Rich.
Oh, the less you
It's
know.
time to learn less.
Learn less. I know less.
We're going to learn less
I know
from
Rich.
Of course, Rich Perlberg with The Less You Know.
Yes. I've got to get Rich's number because I was going another
right-
direction.
it's right
I'm
up on
sorry.
our- it's right up on
I
the
know
board
it's on
right
the
there.
board there. But I like to make sure that I don't have to dial it.
I know you have it in your phone.
Yes.
I just conveniently put it there.
You did. You're very efficient that way with your dry erase board.
Good morning.
Wake up and get going, Rich. It's Mike and John.
Oh my gosh, the sun's almost gone.
Yeah, I know. Enough of the vacation. Back to work, fella.
Yeah, I was going to say, where are you? Because it's raining.
I'm back up north, the great green north, and my goodness, did my fan call last week when I wasn't around? You must have been deluded with calls.
Yeah, we kind of were. Don't worry, we have an answering service now.
The complaints were numerous. The telegrams that we got, we were just buried in telegrams.
Telegram.
Yeah.
Yes, my fans would use telegrams.
Yeah, carrier pigeons even dropped off a few notes for you
on my car.
Yeah. So what's on your mind today, Rich?
Well, I'm going to try to live up to the name of making sure we know a little less than what we did before this call started.
Yeah.
But, I'm pretty amazed. I saw you guys covered it with your news coverage that you've got this self-appointed Moms for Liberty zealot out there who has decided to attack the Heartland schools over and over again, and it seems a little troubling.
Yeah, more than a little troubling, and I guess this is part of a pattern. This group, Moms for Liberty, is notorious. They have there's just a whole series of falsehoods, erroneous statements, just lies that they've perpetrated. A lot of it having to do with schools. This most recent one, as you said, we covered this woman who alleged that there was on a TikTok video that had on its labeled pedophile alert.
Pedophile alert,
right.
Which is dangerous. That's just dangerous.
It is very dangerous, and as you said, our story pointed out this was a retired surgeon. He had the full participation and acknowledgement of administration in the Heartland schools, and he did this very cool thing with the students in his classroom. Nothing untoward or anything inappropriate was done. This mom, however, is alleging, as you said, very dangerously, that somehow there's some sort of pedophile activity going on, and it is dangerous.
But if you lead with something like that, people are going to check it out. And it is you could have done a different lead.
You're aware of the Pizzagate story a couple years ago, where a guy showed up at a Washington pizza place to rescue kids from the basement who were being held as sexual slaves, which of course was totally false. He showed up with a high-powered weapon, and
that fortunately didn't end in a tragedy. It certainly could have.
Only by luck,
right? But you're right that people are deranged. We have weaponry, unfortunately, as we now know, as we're reminded of every day. And so when you make these accusations like this, it is dangerous, and and to be doing it again without any attempt to verify,
without even checking it out or verify it. And when the story comes out, she just doubles down.
Right, and she did. Right,
and there's a direct line from this. I mean, I'm not saying she knows about what Senator Lana Tice did, but Lana Tice did the same thing. She accused a Senate colleague of grooming kids for pedophile and sexual assaults.
Right.
And then doubles down when she was called on it. So I mean, this I don't know if everybody's clear what happened in Harlan. The guy let kids see and hear their heartbeat.
He's a retired surgeon, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but Larry Nassar wasn't on.
That's what I was going to say. You have to be careful on those, just because they're a position of authority.
Fair enough.
She made that reference. She made that.
But
I mean, but it was totally.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about Moms for Liberty. They only mean certain moms have liberty, because other parents came to the defense of the school and she criticized them. So apparently parental rights only are in force when you agree with her.
Well,
the other moms thought it was a wonderful thing.
Right. I mean, there was feedback from other parents whose kids were in the classroom that day, and they said, this was wonderful. My kid was thoroughly engaged. They found this fascinating, interesting. Thank you for doing this. And we should point out, this substitute teacher, who was a retired surgeon, he asked the principal. He got permission to do this. Only male students were asked to participate because he was a male. So there were every appropriate safeguard and thing was brought into consideration and implemented, and yet, this woman, for her whatever her purposes are, and this group's purposes, and as we've said, we've seen time and time again that they've deployed their quiver of lies.
Well, I get what you're saying. I went to her Facebook page, and for a while, I think she must have taken it down, but
right.
She had a picture of what looked to be a young guy, maybe a trans girl with a skirt on, and identified this person as the shooter in Texas. It's totally false.
And as you pointed out again, dangerous.
Has any of the fellow moms for liberty called her out on this?
No.
I mean, because I would assume.
Are you kidding me? They're going to advance her through the leadership.
See, now in this kind of thing, you look at it like when this group started. I would assume, and I would like to assume, looking at the good part of people, that they were actually looking out for what's best for kids. But then it somehow took an extreme.
Looking for the good part of people, I've done my job. You know less than you did when this call started. You go to her site and you've got all sorts of people saying, "Way to go, Brooke."
Right.
Oh, that's nuts.
Well, and as you pointed out, Rich, I mean, like you said, it's only certain moms and it's only certain liberties. Some liberties are more important than others. Yeah. And the liberties that they happen to believe in, those are the important ones. The moms that agree with them, those are the important moms. The moms that don't, or any other parent that doesn't, you're wrong. And then they just label. It's much like the fake news label. Now it's just you just throw out pedophile. And you're like, are you kidding me? How do you have any conversation with irrational people?
Well, you don't.
You don't, exactly.
But how do you even do that when you talk about parental rights? Okay, I don't want a book in my kid's class. Your kid's in the same class, and you want that book there. Well, what parental rights win on that? You know, that debate never seems to be held.
Right.
It's scary, and I don't want to over alarm it, but you start tossing around the term pedophile, you start ringing a bell with some of the lesser grounded people in the area. Well,
and as you pointed out, I mean, she's perpetrating an idea that the shooter in Texas was a trans person. Again, this is trying to gin up hatred, and frankly, I'll take it the extra step and say it's encouraging violence against trans people. And I just have.
Not just her. A U.S. representative from Arizona put the same picture up and added that it was an illegal immigrant.
So
which wasn't true. It was American. The shooter was an American citizen. I mean, when your congressmen and state senators are acting this way, is it any surprise that someone who's looking for 15 minutes of fame would jump onto those things?
All right, so I would like to believe that this is a very vocal minority of people, that there is a silent majority. I know that phrase has been deployed throughout the ages in various good and bad ways.
Shaking her head and saying, "What the heck?"
But how do we, the imagined supposed silent majority? I mean, how do we retake this narrative? And I think it's a rhetorical question. I think we have to speak up. We have to point out. We have to say enough is enough. I mean, I don't know what else we can do.
Well, you do it, and you gotta hope, and this is just going to show how naive I can be, that there be some leadership that are elected leaders can say, yeah, I don't like what the other party stands for, but they're not pedophiles,
right?
And I'm going to distance myself from.
Well,
not just distance myself, but out and out criticize.
Right. I mean,
when was the last time you heard that? John McCain did. I don't know the last time you've ever heard anybody do that.
Right. You're right. For that excellent instance, and we took the microphone back from the woman who was accusing Obama of being a secret Muslim and all the rest. Yeah, and he took the microphone and said, "No, ma'am, no, ma'am." And you're right. That may have been the last time in national politics for sure where something like that happened.
Somebody had the cojones to do something
to say no.
Took off their party. Give me a break.
Yeah, and I guess you mentioned the whole Lana Tice thing, calling out Senator McMorrow, saying, "Oh, she's a pedophile." And nobody, to my knowledge, nobody in the Republican Party, no leadership, nobody. Said a word, said, not even just a half-tainted like, well, I wish you would have used different language, or, even a half-hearted attempt at saying, well, that might be a little bit much. They all either doubled down and said, yep,
Or the best was no comment.
or
right?
just didn't say a thing.
Yeah.
And so, this speaks loudly to the lack of leadership.
I think I
guess.
really know less than when we started. I really do, because
Once again,
it
you
just-
have fulfilled your.
Send you my bill.
it opens up more questions than answers, man.
We're out of time. We were going to talk about half the Republican gubernatorial field getting knocked out by this petition scandal. Maybe we can talk about that next week.
We'll have a better update on what's happened on the repeal.
The
of
canvassers
stuff.
are meeting today, and we'll see what they decide. But I think that's another interesting issue.
It's fascinating that the party that talks about fraud and shenanigans in elections is the ones that can't get their petition straight.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. Another thing we know less about.
Okay, and we'll know even less next week.
excellent.
Sounds good, Rich.
All right.
Have a great week, man.
Thanks, you guys too.
All right, take care.
The Less You Know with Rich Perlberg. And we're brought to you by Firehouse Doors, located in Livingston County, serving residents for the past 24 years. A family-owned business, they strive to treat each customer like family. Veteran-owned, Mike, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. They're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. And for the past 21 years, they've been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call Firehouse Doors today, 810-599-7480. And when you buy a garage door and opener package, they'll upgrade our listeners to a belt drive battery backup opener. No extra cost. It's a $275 value, and it includes the MyQ camera system. And that offer's good through June 15th.
All right, so we've still got some time to take advantage of that. It's still National Teacher Appreciation Month.
Right, and we've been putting teachers in our community spotlight.
I can't. As many teachers that we've talked to, there's each and every one of them has had their own uniqueness, and that's what's been really fun about this segment we've been doing throughout the month of May.
Right, and our community spotlight, by the way, brought to you by Jordan Genso, with the Genso team at Remax Platinum, a community-focused real estate agent, once again spending the month of May doing what he has dubbed Main Street May. And last night he visited Stout Irish Pub.
He's still there. If somebody can pick him up.
Yeah.
No,
He's,
I'm just kidding.
But he said he played a round of speed quizzing with our friend Kenny Privet,
Yeah.
with Kenny Privet Productions. So if you go to his Facebook page, if you go to Jordan's Facebook page, Jordan Genso, community servant, community realtor, you have a chance to win a $10 gift card.
Did he brag about how he did in speed trivia?
Yeah, he did actually. He says, I won the round thanks in no small part to the person next to me at the bar whose phone had died. So he wasn't able to play solo. So a win's a win.
Yeah, it is.
So if you want to get a $10 gift card to Stout Irish Pub, go to Jordan's Facebook page. And, of course, he's bringing us our community spotlight today. Who are we talking to?
Our teacher today is Susan Schmoekel, who is a first-year teacher in Howell. She's done amazing projects. Hi, Susan. It's Mike and John from Mike and John Got It Going On.
Well, good morning.
Well, congratulations. Your first year of teaching here in Howell at Voyager.
Yes, that is right.
And we understand you've been involved in some amazing projects there at Voyager. Tell us about those for your first year. I mean, you're jumping in and making a splash, that's for sure.
Yes, well, the kids have been very busy this year. We've been working on some clay and paper mache projects, anything that we can take away some of that drawing with just drawing and turn it into something 3D and popping out and recycling we're doing this year.
You know, it's an interesting question. Craft projects that you do for, in the younger grades, and obviously you try and do it as part of a sort of a curriculum. But I just have to wonder, though, do you try and shy away from things like glitter? The kids are like, we want to do glitter, and you're like, no, I don't think we're going to do glitter.
No, any classroom teacher that needs glitter, I am more than happy to send it their way.
Yeah, I bet.
I have a definite allergy to glitter. It's everywhere.
They get a shot back. So let me ask you, when you come out, because you really strike some memories in all of us when you mention clay projects and paper mache. For the clay projects, pottery wheel, yes or no?
No, not a pottery wheel.
Okay.
Just sort of free-forming what they like?
Yes, just free-forming. In fact, it was done at the beginning of the year, just kind of a way for me to get to know them, being that I was new to the district. They got to make their favorite food, and then we squished it. It was a game that we made out of it, and or they got to make their favorite animal, and then we smashed it.
Oh my God, that sounds so fun.
Yeah, it really does.
The kids just kind of looked at me like, I spent 15 minutes on this, and now you want me to smash
Well,
it.
that
Okay.
it's kind of taking out some stress and relieving a situation.
But-
What if it was bad?
Yes, right.
So
Now, did they squish it with their hands, or how was it squished?
Yep, that was them. That was the
Okay.
rules. They had to, create it with their hands, and then they got to be able to take care of it and start all over
Yeah.
again.
Now, was this real clay or was this Play-Doh?
No, this is homemade actually.
Oh, homemade.
But it actually will air dry. We're trying to save our resources and spend it where we need to spend it. And clay wasn't the choice, but I made it here at home and brought it in.
Wow.
And kids just loved it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, as Mike mentioned, you're finishing up your first year of teaching, and I'm just curious, now that you're wrapping this up, what was the biggest surprise for you over the year, in terms of what you expected and what the reality
Well, the
was?
first year with Howell, you taught in another
I'm
district,
sorry, yeah,
right?
but
Correct. I taught, in Detroit, actually. So this is my 18th year of teaching.
Well, then I guess I was just 17 years off. So I guess,
Well, it's a different district,
17 years in, how has it changed from what you expected?
See, now a first-year teacher, we'll call it like your virgin year, you probably would have been okay with glitter, but you've learned.
Okay, this brings up, here's the problem. I apparently read the Cliff's Notes for this interview, and I didn't do my homework. This has been something that's plagued me my entire life.
You know what?
Thus, I'm doing a podcast in a
We
basement.
want to have you come in and have us do paper mache.
So, all right, my mistake.
All right, let's go back to
But
the
that-
first year in Howell.
Yeah, that does bring up an interesting thing. Coming from Detroit to Howell, I mean, obviously, just the size and the community itself is different. So there has to have been some changes and things that you had to adapt to.
Exactly. I mean, overall, kids are kids.
Right.
Right? But I did come from many years teaching kindergarten to now teaching art again. And I would have to say that just the amount of supplies that were available, and the former art teacher left me in good standing with all sorts of really cool things to be creative with. So I do have to, my hat goes off to her and her help. But yeah, the kids just wanting to learn, wanting to be creative, wanting to explore. Their openness was just wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
So when you just teach art, elementary art, so you're teaching all different grades, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so is there any grade you look more forward to than others? Because you know the.
Believe it or not, even though I come from a background with kindergarten and younger students, I am really enjoying the 4th and 5th grade.
Yeah.
Not that all the grades are wonderful, but I really like those 4th and 5th graders because their skills are developing. They listen and they see their projects turn out wonderfully, and they're like, "Wow, I really can do this." And of course you can.
Yes. Well, yeah.
All you have to do is try.
They've got a little bit more passion toward it, I would imagine, than the kindergarten or first graders. So a little more experience, something under the belt. But no, art always a lot of fun. And the reason I asked about the pottery wheel, because I remember in elementary school using that, and then you make your thing, and you have to wait till it goes in the kiln, and you don't know how it's going to turn out.
Yes.
So are you?
Trust me, the teachers were praying too that it didn't break in the kiln and have to go to a child and break their heart.
What school did you go to that you had a pottery wheel and a
Oh,
kiln?
yeah, I went to Taylor Elementary in Livonia. Yeah.
I just ate paste.
Well, yeah, we did. Well, don't get me wrong, I did that
Still have
too.
them, by the way.
You know, they kind of frown on eating Elmer's paste.
I'm curious, as an art teacher, do you ever have to go, no, not in the mouth, okay?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Okay.
Pre-K, kinder, they still need reminders.
Right.
Even up to 4th, 5th, even seniors in high school would be told, don't eat the paste.
Or that might look yummy.
Yeah, no.
Well, Play-Doh had a certain salty taste to
Well,
it.
sure. And the thing is, all of us listening now, we all have that. We have that taste in our mouth right now. That Play-Doh taste. Play-Doh.
It smells kind of good.
It's those twist-up glue sticks look a lot like
Right.
those
These are the things you got to be aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're right. I mean, I guess we talked about glitter before, and I know they make like glitter glue.
Oh, yeah.
where the glitter's like mixed in with the glue, and I guess maybe that's better because the glitter's
I don't
contained.
know. You can tell by Susan's tone that she really doesn't approve of glitter glue.
It's you can say it's more self-contained.
Right.
It's not going to really go anywhere.
Right.
But my favorite would be the glitter paint.
Glitter paint.
Yeah.
Yes, glitter paint, wonderful.
Is that sarcasm I'm sensing in your voice?
Oh no.
Okay, good. Oh, I wasn't sure if you're
it's
like
sand paint,
It's
and
a
it gives
true
a texture.
passion for glitter paint.
Okay.
Okay.
But because it's contained.
It's contained.
Yeah, right. Because if just a jar of glitter, you're like, okay,
Right.
Let's make our own glitter paint.
Not blow that everywhere.
No, yeah, the kids would. But look, I've made an art project of the entire room.
Did they even have glitter when we were getting? Yeah, I know they had the tubes, but they didn't have it
Not
in the
really.
paste and all that.
Glitter technology's advanced
It
quite
sure
a lot
has.
in the last few years.
Right.
And now if you-
now it comes in like mega jars.
Oh, God.
They
Yeah.
get dumped over, and it's fine. And
Oh.
the finer, the better.
Yeah, go to Sam's Club.
Oh no.
So you can get
Okay,
a big tub.
we're
of
giving
glitter.
her nightmares
I know.
now. She's like,
I'm
stop.
sorry. How about bedazzled? Have you done any bedazzling?
We have not done bedazzling.
all right.
No. But we did use shells to help
Yeah.
beef up our paper mache flamingos. That were my favorites.
Nice.
All right. So is like gluing a seashell, the macaroni shells on a plate? Is that still part of the curriculum?
But, funny you should ask that. I have a whole cupboard of macaroni. That would not be one of my favorite
No.
products to
Right.
use. No.
All right. Just check.
Yeah.
I mean, the bow ties could be fun. Just say
The bow tie?
the bow tie.
The bow tie
and
pasta,
macaroni,
yeah.
the bow tie pasta could be fun to do stuff with. Maybe painting with
some
glitter.
Glitter paint. Wow.
Do you want us to come in and guest teach for you?
That would be wonderful.
We'll
Yeah.
bring a shop back with us. Well, Susan, a lot of fun, and congratulations on your first year here on Howell. We hope you have many more after.
And congratulations on your previous 17 years in teaching, which I completely ignored.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I hope you have a great day.
You too.
Hey, for once, I did more homework than you.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
All right. Susan, have a great week.
Sticker for you.
Enjoy this. I get a smiley face, baby. Well, Susan, have a great summer.
You too.
All right,
Bye.
thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. A lot of fun. Art class. It's one of those things where I think early on, because I like sports so much, I preferred going to, because you had those days of the week where it's like, oh, Wednesday's gym day, and then maybe Friday would be art
Right.
day, and you were just hoping like maybe the art teacher will call in sick and I can go to the gym. But no, art was fun.
I
Had
liked
a lot
art.
of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun in art class. Susan, our teacher.
I don't know if this is a surprise to anyone that I preferred art class and you preferred gym. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody.
Well, when you aced that pottery wheel the first time through, Jim.
Pottery wheel.
Yeah.
I just
yeah,
can't
you had to
imagine.
spin it with your feet. Yeah.
Man.
You had to get that thing going.
Get there, Richie
Sometimes.
Rich. Going to pottery wheel school.
yeah.
All right.
I think it was on loan from the district. It went from like school to school.
Meanwhile,
So was
you're
it-
having like a ghost moment in third
yeah.
grade. Oh, and I'm paced.
No, so let's see how
Nom,
fast
nom.
we can spin this thing and watch the clay just get deformed. Gotta get your hands wet, otherwise it starts sticking all over the face. All right, enough of that.
Yes, our community spotlight again brought to you by Jordan Genso with the Genso team at Remax Platinum. Check out his Facebook page, Jordan Genso, Community Servant, Community Realtor.
Hey, and for those sticking around on the YouTube version,
On the YouTubes.
on the YouTube,
You on the tubes?
we have something very special coming up. You may notice it behind us, but an update on what we talked about in a previous post show.
True.
Previous post show. Okay. So we'll get to that in the
It's hanging around.
It is.
It's hanging around. Yeah. And of course, all the teachers were featuring this month on Mike and John Got It Going On. Part of the Howell Education Association, building futures together, promoting and celebrating excellence in the teaching profession. Of course, the first week in May was National Teacher Appreciation Week, highlighting and celebrating excellence in local teaching. So the Howell Education Association has expanded that, and we're doing that for the entire month of May. Teachers being spotlighted this month have been nominated by their HEA colleagues, like Susan, as examples of teaching excellence. The Howell Education Association serves its membership through collaboration and advocacy at the district, county, and state level with the goal of supporting teachers in their professional efforts in local schools and classrooms. The Howell Education Association, local teachers working together, for student success. All right, now speaking of students, did any of our students come up with the right answer in trivia?
First, I do want to give you a little bit of a pass because the notations we were given from the HEA regarding Susan Schmoekel, our teacher today, it does say first-year teacher. Susan's first year.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
So
I remember
you think
reading.
It's like fresh out of school. You got.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
but you didn't really know that. You got first year.
Let me
see
this.
First year in Howell. See, so you got to read into that a little bit. Put a little effort into your pre-show stuff.
What the hell, man? So I've already acknowledged.
No, I'm just saying.
I want to break down and I want to go back and examine.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, so. Why would I do that?
No.
I'm so sorry.
No.
All right, so
yes.
Our trivia question this morning that I don't think anybody's got it right yet. About 28% of Americans admit to doing this, even though they know it's wrong. Let's take a look at some of the guesses.
Okay.
Not wearing a seatbelt. I don't know. I remember because we're of the generation where until seatbelts became a law, it was kind of an optional thing.
I remember 1976 we got a Dodge Dart. And it had a buzzer.
Was it a swinger?
No,
not a Dart swinger.
But it was nice cherry red. And if you didn't buckle the seatbelts, there was a buzzer. Yeah. And so,
it would ding ding.
No, it didn't. It was like, I mean, it was just like you couldn't ignore it. And so I remember I have a specific memory of us all laughing as we buckled the seatbelts and sat on top of them.
Fooled that car.
Stupid safety measure. 70s.
Somebody will come up with the airbag someday.
What's next?
Those too. So no, not the seat belt.
Right.
Eating grapes or other fruits before you check out.
I've never. I don't think I've ever really done that.
I haven't done it with fruit. If I were to eat something or give my kids like those circus crackers when they would be,
right.
I would let them eat them, but I would still
You'd still pay for it, right?
Yeah.
But as far as like eating a grape or something that you can't.
Yeah, when you're camping out in the grape section, we see you, fella.
Because it's like if that got too bad, they'd have to like weigh you when you came into the store and then weigh you on the way out. Be like, you've gained 4 pounds since you've been here, sir.
Picking your nose, I guess.
Nice.
Not closing the cover before striking matches. That's something we haven't.
It's a very specific answer.
Well, it says not closing before striking, so I'm assuming that Michael's talking about matches. Drive without shoes after work. Tired of my shoes. Think I'll drive home barefoot.
I don't like that.
You like that?
I don't.
I don't. No, I need my shoe.
Pedals. Yeah.
I need my shoe on the pedal.
You don't want a sweaty foot on a pedal and then
cheating on taxes.
No.
28%. You know that's got to be more than that.
And
driving after a few drinks.
By the way, cheating on taxes is a big no-no.
It certainly is.
And I'll tell you who will tell you not to do that because you don't have to do that.
No, you don't.
That's Fairchild, LaBelle, and Rice CPAs. If you're looking for a firm to focus on your individual needs, always treat you like the client that matters, they know the ways to maximize your tax return.
And your write-offs, those kind of things.
Right, and do it the right way. Fairchild, LaBelle, and Rice CPAs. Give them a call, 517-321-5990, FLRCPAs.com.
Changing lanes without turn signals. 28%? Come on. I think it's a little more than that. Some people just zag. I don't even know if turn signals were optional.
I cannot tell you how many people are always just like, oh yeah, don't worry about your blinker. I know it's so difficult for you to do this.
So is it more annoying to be behind the guy that's just zigzagging without using a turn signal or behind the person that has the turn signal on for 6 miles? Now, asking for a friend.
I agree. Now, have you ever found yourself, and you look at it and go, oh, shoot. My blinker's been on. And you go, how long has this been?
Yeah, I know. Let's see. How far back was that exit?
Right. You're like, oh my God. How old am I?
Yeah. It's happened, but that's on accident. At least you turned on your turn signal.
More and more.
Maybe you're going to keep turning left.
Oh my God. I think I've had that thing on since Dayton.
Turn right on red. Let's see. Any other great guesses?
And we did say the answer has to do with automobiles.
It does have to do with automobiles.
So far, not the right answer.
Madonna, our friend, the school bus driver, says running that red flashing school bus lights.
Mm-hmm. We see you. She sees you. Madonna sees you.
Oh, she does. Since we're talking about driving with their dog in their lap. That's not a distraction.
No,
that's a little weird.
We had Rocky on the show, my little dog, the other day. Whenever he's in the car, he wants to be in my lap while I'm driving. And it seems like only when I'm on the freeway. Surface streets, where it's slower. But as soon as I get on the free, oh, we're up over 60. Well, I got to get up in your lap. Like, no, dog, hey.
Where does he want to go? To Telegraph Road right now?
Get a good deal. You either know or you know.
Movie hopping in the theater.
No.
So you see one movie. I'm not doing
No, I would never do that.
I wanted to see that one too, so you kind of hide out.
Or you buy the ticket to the PG, and then you go down the hall into
Who
the
did
R.
that?
Never.
Our answer
Yes.
was parking in a handicap spot, even though you don't have a handicap.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But like I said, some people may do it on accident. Other people are just.
How many people do that on accident? Oh, I'm sorry. All these signs and these blue markings, I had no idea this was a handicap spot. Right.
Well, sometimes they're not marked very well.
That's true. Now, I have seen some where you're kind of like,
is this a handicap?
well, wait.
Oh, crap.
Like,
I'm in a handicap.
one side of it is yellow and the other side's blue, and you're like, is this a spot? And the
Especially
sign,
if they don't have
and the
a sign.
sign is maybe, it's kind of turned, and you're like, is it facing this spot or is it? So I agree. There are times when you're kind of like, I don't know, but I always err on the side of like, if I'm not sure, I'm like, well, I'm not going to park here.
Well, there was a place that, we used to work that had a handicapped spot, which was furthest away from the door.
It was furthest
just
away.
Just because there was a spot that was low enough if you had a
wheelchair
or something like that.
True.
But you're like, problem with the sign, maybe. So that's our answer today. Parking in a handicapped spot. So shame on you if you've done that knowingly.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's not right.
People.
All right.
People.
Coming up tomorrow on the show for Friday.
What's coming up tomorrow?
We'll be talking with our friend Rhonda at Torch 180.
You know, tomorrow's a Big Bang Boom Day.
A Big Bang Boom.
We have not had a Big Bang Boom Day.
Big Bang Boom.
We've not had a Big Bang Boom.
Bonnie Runyon is going to join us.
And then we'll
talk
have
to
another interview with the
teacher.
teacher. Yeah, as we wrap it up.
Talking to AJ Dokie tomorrow.
All right.
Not Okie Dokie, AJ Dokie.
Well, we'll find out. Maybe
from,
AJ is Okie Dokie.
Highlander Way Middle School.
Okay.
Remember middle school? Called it junior high back in our day.
I do remember.
Oh, you're in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not high school or junior high. Middle school.
Yeah. My kid is finishing up 8th grade, but they call him a third year. They're a third year student.
Ooh. It makes you feel like a senior.
Exactly. Oh, a
third
year student out of the way. Third year coming through.
Then you become a freshman.
Think about that. That's so true, though, because you go from elementary school. You go from elementary school. So 6th grade, when you're in middle school, your first year, you're kind of like, oh my god, different classes, and I can't bring my lunchbox anymore, and and you get over that.
No wonder we have so many issues here
Right.
in America.
7th grade, you kind of like, all right, I'm getting the feel for this building. I got it. I'm cool. I'm staying out of trouble. I'm not being, I'm just saying. 8th grade, then you're like, 8th grader. Yeah, we're kind of run the place, and then you get into 9th grade, and you're like, oh god,
I'm gonna get a swirly.
Don't.
Do they do swirlies anymore? You'd probably be arrested and thrown in juvie.
Did you ever have that? I told my kids about swirlies. They did not believe me, and I told
I
them.
never had that happen.
I told it's a
I've
true.
never seen that.
True story. When I was in 9th grade,
You got a swirly?
I did not, and here's why.
Maybe a wedgie, but not a swirly.
No, but literally a couple of seniors saw us. It was like the first week of school.
Yeah.
So we just had fresh meat painted on us. This is the 80s. So, and they were like, oh, freshmen. And like, it's just funny how, like, you just know. Like, it had just, that knowledge had been transferred down. Like, if you see seniors run. I mean, this is the era that we lived in. I'm trying to tell you. And it was just accepted.
But see, your biggest worry going to school then was a swirly.
Right. That's true, too. And
so it really wasn't that bad.
So they grabbed us. I mean, literally physically grabbed us, hauled us into a bathroom, and I broke away from, I was like, no way. And my friend was like, ah. And so they dragged him in the bathroom. I broke away and said, bye. And I split.
Didn't even try and help us.
Oh, hell no.
That guy's not.
I just knew this. My head is not going in a toilet. Yeah. All right? I don't care. If I have to trample children, if I have to push over old ladies, it does not matter. I'm not putting my head in a toilet. That's not going to happen until junior year when I broke into the dad's, Carling Black Label. But anyway.
Then your head voluntarily went in.
Then I'm like, oh my God, where's the toilet? Okay.
Carling Black Label. Boy, you went top shelf. Anything would do.
I'm sure the Howell Education Association's like, we have to reconsider our sponsorship here.
All right.
But that's a true story.
Where were we going with that? I don't know.
This is what you get. This is what you get.
Is that what you get?
What kind of stories you got?
Well, first of all, our division of schools went from K to 6.
Oh.
And then junior high was 7 to 9. And then high school was 10 to 12.
That's interesting.
But they did change that to K to 6. And then it went from 7th and 8th, and then 9th grade was added to the high schools. Like when I was a junior.
More as a traditional
something
one,
along those lines. So it went from being the king of the school when you're a 6th grader. You ruled the school, and you were a 6th grader.
Yeah.
You may have had that
Suddenly.
pubic hair somewhere. And then your voice started changing a little.
One.
Then you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? It's kind of like your hair now. So then you get to 7th grade, and you're wandering around this huge building thinking, oh my gosh, I hope I can get to my class on time. When's lunch? Because I can buy a hot lunch. And then when you were in 9th grade, technically you kind of ruled the school. But I went to Catholic school in 9th grade. That's when CC started. High school was 9th grade. So I really didn't get to that rule of the school.
You missed out.
High, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But 8th grade was my best year. I kind of
I
kind of peaked.
When did you peak?
8th grade. I was like, 8th grade, I'm
If
pretty
people
cool
are being
now.
honest, what was your peak year in school?
8th grade. And really, we haven't gotten past that yet, have we? Was it 8th for you?
Yeah. I think it was...
8th grade. I had good hair.
I think it was 11th grade. I think junior year.
They had the Nova then. All right.
I was in school sometimes.
I had a car.
Open campus? 4-hour lunch? Bye. I'll be in Angelo's playing defender.
Let's get to our 2-cent history lesson besides the one you've just had.
I guess we should learn something.
Today is the 26th of May, National Cherry Dessert Day. National Cherry Dessert Day. Would it be one of those fruit pies you could get in the lunchroom or at McDonald's? Eat more fruits and vegetables day. So does a cherry dessert count as
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Especially one of those maraschino cherries that's been soaked in syrup. This is a fruit.
Sally Ride Day today, too.
Okay.
Ride Sally Ride.
We talked to Sally.
Yeah, we did.
Years and years ago. She's since passed, but she was a fascinating interview.
Yeah. 1978, the first legal casino in the eastern U.S. opened. Atlantic City, New Jersey. We're going to Jersey. Hit the slots.
Jersey. My dad grew up in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, on the boardwalk.
I was going to say, on the boardwalk.
Yeah, my grandfather had a linen store on the boardwalk, and it sold like knickknacks and touristy crap.
Linen.
And
Folks,
linens.
that's a clothing store.
And it was like this. There was like the posh side of the store where it had like linens and that kind of stuff for
And then
there was like the
cheap
cheap.
cotton
Here's your little hula tiki whatever thing.
Ah.
And my dad used to talk about how he used to set up chairs for the Miss America pageant. He'd get paid like a dime a chair or whatever.
Wow.
And he's a teenager and he get to hang around Miss America pageant.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're showing your knees.
Check out those ankles.
Check out those ankles.
1990, for the first time ever, the top 5 positions in the U.S. singles chart were held by female artists. Your artists back in 1990 were Madonna, Hart, Sinead O'Connor, Wilson Phillips, and Janet Jackson. In that order for the top 5.
That was a year. Remember?
1994. The I do's were said between one Michael Jackson and one Lisa Marie Presley. They were married in the Dominican Republic.
And they lived happily ever. No, they did not.
No. 1996.
And they kissed.
That was kind of eerie, wasn't it?
Oh, totally natural.
This looks like they've done it before.
It's like you're kissing your aunt. What is that?
A fire at the home of Eric Clapton broke out in 1996, caused over $1 million worth of damage. Firefighters arrived on the scene to find Eric Clapton braving the blaze to save his collection of guitars.
Oh, there you go. Okay. I thought you said a fight broke out.
No, a fire.
You said a fire. I'm like, what?
fire.
It was a fight at Clapton's house?
Well, that was
That's right. That's it.
a real brawl.
Jimmy Page is taking on Pete Townsend.
Who do you think would win that?
Kick his ass! Oh, Pete Townsend.
He would use the guitar.
Oh, absolutely.
wouldn't he?
Oh,
He
yeah,
would use
yeah,
a
yeah.
guitar as a weapon.
I think he would, yeah.
The Supreme Court in 1998, the Supreme Court of our land, ruled that Ellis Island, historic gateway for millions of immigrants, is mainly in New Jersey, not New York. The Supreme Court had to decide that. We couldn't just take a look at it and go,
Well, it's a
this
boundary,
is where it's at.
boundary dispute, but yeah.
Was it over, like tax funding or something? We want some money.
It's for money. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Gee, I wonder if it has to do with money.
We better take this to the Supreme Court.
I'm sure this has nothing to do with money.
Yeah. It's like if you have something fading over your property line onto your neighbor's lawn. Is that going to go to the Supreme Court?
Right. That's the thing. If you don't have a fence,
you kind of have.
And when and sometimes when you mow, if a neighbor goes a line, and you're like, hey, that's technically my lawn.
If you want to mow it, do the whole thing.
I mean, that's what I'm like. Well, you might as well do the whole thing.
My neighbor has a company that comes to cut his lawn.
Right.
And sometimes they're a little shy. They don't quite hit the property line.
Oh.
So I'm like, well, do I cut that or don't I?
I see.
Would my neighbor do that for me?
Now,
I don't know.
Okay, now you bring up a good point. So I have a service that does my lawn too. And the little triangular pieces at the end of your driveway? I mean, sometimes there's a little, and so, it's not that big. It's as big as this table, maybe. And half of it's technically my neighbor's and half is mine.
They don't do it.
But it looks so stupid when you mow just half of this little triangle. So you're like, just mow the whole thing. But if you are on a different mowing schedule.
Sure.
So if the neighbor mows his on a Friday and you have yours mowed on a Monday, or then the growth rates are different and it all looks wrong.
It's also.
Yeah, and I can't live here.
It's stressful. First house we had, my neighbor used to ask me what my lawnmower is set on so we could have pretty close to this.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow, you're asking me. Lawnmower setting.
Sync the mowers.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, Bob, you on 3? Because I'm on 3 over here.
See, and I've never been one. God bless people that love doing lawn work. I'm not one.
I don't mind doing lawn work. It's kind of like therapy.
I hate it.
Think about the people I work with. And
hey, wait a minute.
Oh, not you.
No, of course not. Pool robot. Like somebody do his lawn.
We got the weed whacker. Dang King. And the thing gets untwined and you got to put in more twine. And come on, King.
Don't you have the bump on your weed whacker? You kind of bump it and it just
it does, but sometimes that gets jammed.
That's
up.
true
It's
too.
an older one.
That's true too. I got to go weed whack.
That's it.
Are
you weed whacking?
I looked out yesterday. I'm like,
you mean your service doesn't do the weed whacking for you?
No, there's a section behind my my shed that they don't they haven't really gotten. I'm like, I would get
on them. Pretty bad. You're paying them, buddy. You're getting ripped.
You're
off.
right.
You're getting ripped off. That's our 2-cent history lesson for today. Don't get ripped off.
More than you wanted to know about our lawn habits.
And as John mentioned, he's got a robot for his pool. I do not. But we both use Roman's Pools for pool maintenance, repair, and upkeep. Roman's Pool Supplies and Services, locations in Howell and Brighton. Highly recommended. Fast, friendly service, pool expertise, and quality maintenance. Roman's Pool Service and Supplies has everything you need for your pool to keep it safe and clean this summer. And also some of the fun toys you can put in your pool, too. Like a floating lounge chair, like you would see John floating in, for example. With his little beverage, kicking back saying, I don't have to vacuum. Marino's probably vacuuming right now. I got the robot underneath doing all the work for me. Does he ever yell at the robot if it misses a spot? If the robot misses a spot, you know who he's calling? Romans.
Yeah.
Saying my robot's out of line.
No. I just push it and make it go.
Okay.
You can get robots that are remote control too. You can go, left.
Oh,
it's like a video game almost. I don't have that one. I just kind of randomly.
I see. Yeah,
but it does the job.
Again, you didn't have to want to work.
Yeah. Better living through technology. Better living through technology. Again, is this any surprise that I have a robot clean my pool? And you manually clean your pool. I have a service do my lawn. You mow your lawn.
All right.
Width.
That's what America's all about. That's what America's all about. You either do the work or you hire somebody to do it.
That's right.
All right. Otherwise, you have the police on your back saying, "Hey, your lawn needs to get cut.
Now,
your pool's dirty."
Right. It's true. But if your pool is dirty, call Roman's Pools, romanspools.com. For the month of May, they've been encouraging people not to mow their lawn at all. To help the bees, number one, and they want you to let dandelions grow.
No. Who are these people?
Because dandelions are, in the springtime, they're one of the first flowers to bloom, and bees can get the pollen from those, and so they want you to, and as a climate measure, they were encouraging people not to mow their lawn in the month of May.
Oh,
Now,
so you're getting it out there. Yeah.
I still had the service do it. I mean,
you don't care about
look, I love the planet, but I really don't like the look my neighbors give me when I don't mow.
when your lawn's a foot high.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have to get over that somehow. I don't know how we.
Yeah, when the
bridge that
lawn
gap.
police come along and you
Yeah.
say, "Hey, I'm just trying to save the environment here. I want the bees to be able to
But
buzz."
But I want to say that they were even talking about legislation that would allow you to. It wasn't going to mandate you to, but it was going to allow people to not mow their lawn in May, and it would somehow avoid HOA restrictions and things like that. But,
Wow, that's a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's like asking the Supreme Court. Where's the OSI?
where is it? Well, it's right here. It's got a big statue on it. I don't know if you saw it or not. I don't know if you've seen this thing.
Is that Jersey or is that New York? Come on.
So, Madam Liberty's in Jersey.
Oh.
Well,
Rough break for Madam Liberty.
that is kind of, I'm a part of the Big Apple, New York City, center of the world. No, actually, you're in Jersey.
New Jersey.
Here you go. Here's your new owner, Tony Soprano.
All right. Are we done today?
God, are we? Let's hope so.
All right, because I've got some great post-show content.
All right.
Besides what's hanging up behind us.
Right. Now, before we get to that, we should also mention, as you did before earlier, that we printed up your 2-cent history lesson on a new Gigo printer.
Yeah, we did.
Dan's PC Solutions are the ones that helped us pick that out. Veteran-owned, Dan and Amber McMillan, a husband-wife team. They've been providing IT and computer services and support for Livingston County residents and small businesses for more than 10 years. They're there to help. You can stop in and see them and Ziggy. Dan's PC Solutions, located in the former Livingston County Airport building on Grand River in Howell, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 3, 517-579-0975, online at danspcsolutions.com. They provide IT support for small businesses, personal friendly service, and support for your average home user as well. That's danspcsolutions.com. All right. I guess this is the part where I play the music, right?
That is the part where you do that.
We're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Kitty and Cougar.
Don't park in the handicap spot. It's not nice. Unless you got a handicap sticker.
You've been giggling with Mike and John.
Or
Sorry.
sign.
Tune in next time and giggle on.
Hell yeah, giggle on.
You know, you can giggle more on a holiday weekend if you want.
When are Kitty and Cougar going to come join us in the studio?
Have you invited them?
Yeah. They somehow haven't taken up the invitation. It's kind of
Maybe
like,
I'll ask them.
It's kind of like back in 7th grade. Hey, you want to come over to my house? Hey, where you going? All right, post show.
I gotta wash my hair. All right, so we were talking about Joe Brony
Yes.
the other day.
Yes.
And now Joe has a new location.
Yes, he does. And you can see the bottom half right there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Don't do that.
I'll just do this. I'll tilt it up.
I'll back up. There it is. Way up top. It's almost like he's.
Yeah. There's Joe.
All right.
He's hanging out.
Velcro.
He's hanging out.
She's Velcro.
No, he's just sort of hanging there. Use his arm to. Okay, I'm getting dizzy.
Needs a little.
Yeah, there we go.
Needs a little help.
We need some camera work here. All right, there you go. We're gonna end it on Joe Brony.